Welcome to my weekly success series where I am going to address all of the ways that you can be successful, not just with money and business, but everything, because the same mindset applies. I'm Landria Onkka. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about the success mindset. What is it? When you see those people out there doing great, knocking out of the park, you're asking yourself, why not me? What did they have? Nothing. But you are just not using those tools. Let's talk about what they are. Let's go there right now. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. What holds us back from being amazing at just about everything that we do? The story in the head. Now, my whole channel is about your spiritual progress, awakening, pulling out of those dense places that just don't feel good. But I just want you to understand something about that. All of it is purposeful. And it's all good. It's the reason we came here, and that is to evolve into a higher frequency. And you may be that person who already was on a high frequency who came here to assist others. Either way, it's not an easy pathway. This is not an easy choice that we made, so congratulations for that. Well, your whole life is going to be like that, a series of challenges. And I think the difference between those who appear to succeed and others isn't their spiritual level or their frequency, or they know more than you. They absolutely have a rock solid belief. Now, when you have a belief that you can do something or that you will achieve certain goals, what do? You act on them. Those who are doubting themselves are really self-sabotaging. You have to ask yourself why you would do that. You see, people that have a lot of money or success in certain areas, they were just open to it. And that's the spiritual part of what we are. Spiritual, what does that really mean? Everything's just energy. It's a frequency, a vibration that makes a chair, and a body, and a cloud, and the things that we don't see, which is most of everything, that is really the true power. That's where everything happens and manifests in the quantum field. Now, your beliefs are manifesting in that quantum field. So whatever you're seeing, whatever shows up, is actually a reflection of those stories, those thoughts, those beliefs. Now, we are programmed when we come here. We automatically come in as pure, amazing light beings. And if we were really in a positive atmosphere of high frequency people, that would never change. But that's not what happens on planet Earth. We come into a collective density of people that are fearful and have been told a lot of things that just aren't true, which they pass on to us. So getting rid of those thoughts and beliefs is not an easy task. We are wired at some point, because we are physical dense beings. We are wired to believe certain things, and so to undo that takes some time. So you have to remember one thing, and that is, if you are self-sabotaging, if you have doubts, if you have goals and you've never gone after them, or you believe the garbage everybody else tells you that you're limited, then you have to work on that first. Now, those of you who have taken my Breakthrough Fear course, I'm going to put it down in the description. If you're going to manifest anything, you can get a huge discount. It's going to take time. That's a 1-year course, unlimited use for 1 year, that you actually have to take a look at where that comes from and then work through it, because you have to understand why every time something good might be happening to you, you retreat. Or what's that fear? Why are you afraid sometimes to go after the things that you really, truly want? You just don't believe you can do it. Maybe you don't think you deserve it. Success mindset never allows those thoughts in to rule. Now, they may show up once in a while. I always say in my Breakthrough Fear course, one of the things that I talk about most is fear doesn't go away, not as long as you're on this planet. But those who are successful, who break through it, are the ones who stop listening to it. It's there, and I don't have to react to it. So you'll hear it, but you don't react to it. You don't believe it anymore. You go, oh, there it is. It's like a, bad kid in the room. At some point, you got to ignore it and go on with your tasks at hand. And that is what fear is going to represent to you when you go into the success mode. It's just something that is programmed there, and you understand that's really not true. It's just the programming doing its thing, and eventually it subsides. Now, when you deal with those beliefs and you understand, maybe you were told that it's bad to have money, or it's not spiritual to be wealthy, or all these other things, ask yourself where they came from. Because if you were out in the woods and the wolf child, you wouldn't know any of that stuff. You would just know that abundance is good, it feels good, and you'd probably share it. Now, you're much more powerful as an abundant, successful person, right? Because I'm here talking to you, I'm able to change literally millions of lives for those who watch my channel. So I get that choice of what I do with that power. So never underestimate the power of abundance and success. It is and can be an amazing, wonderful thing. So get that out of your head that it's not positive. We are not good for ourselves or others if we're struggling and in stress and anxiety. And that's what happens when you're not going after your passion and your goals. So the number one thing is you have to look at the beliefs that are stopping you and ask yourself where they came from. Second of all, you have to say, this fear and all these things, I'm okay with, they're going to be there. A lot of things, times we think we have to battle those and they shouldn't be there. Accept the fact they're going to be there. And just, then you can relax and say when they show up, there it is again. I don't have to believe that or act on it. I'm going to go ahead and do this thing anyways. The third thing is the success mindset is one of solutions. When you desire something, you don't hold back. The successful person doesn't hold back. They will go after it. And no matter what happens along the way, they know that there's a solution to it. So most people will go after something, and as soon as it gets tough, they quit. I see that all the time. If you guys see my internet marketing training, we actually have whole platforms to help people through the mindset of self-sabotage. Because as soon as things get tough, they quit because they want the quick fix, the quick money, the lottery, I call it the lottery mentality, that's going to fix me. Well, it's great to win the lottery, nothing wrong with that, but it won't fix you. I know a lot of very unhappy, wealthy people. It's all up here. So when you go into the mindset of success, you have to ask yourself, if there's something I want and it's not working, instead of telling myself a story, I shouldn't be doing that. Yep, I'm going to go back to that old job or that old relationship or whatever. This didn't work. If you truly want it and you envision something amazing and maybe it doesn't seem to be panning out that way, there's a solution to get you there. You just have to ask yourself if you're willing to do that. And a lot of times I see people, they're just not willing to do what it takes to get to the success. So be okay with that. If you are not ready to do the work to get to wherever it is in your life you want to be, then just don't do it and choose a path that seems right and true for you. A lot of people are shooting for goals that are way beyond what they truly understand what it takes to get there and don't really want to do. So as far as success in business goes, successful entrepreneurs have a clear vision. They go down that path and they go after it no matter what. They don't listen to the fear or the other people because the world is a dense place. They're always going to try and tell you you can't be that or do that or have that. Or they'll give you some silly story that just doesn't even make sense. And the next thing is that they continue down that path consistently and they work through any potential roadblocks or whatever it is that happens, because it's going to happen. That's part of the learning experience. You don't become a millionaire or successful in relationships without working through why you're not there in the first place. So they continually work through everything that comes along the way and they use it to learn. That doesn't work. Now I know how that works, and now I'm going to implement it or change the equation or change the behavior or change whatever it is you're doing. And that's going to happen all the time, no matter what area of your life, and that includes relationships. I've been in a relationship before. Now I know I just can't have my way all the time. Or now I know that I need to love myself first to be loved properly by somebody else. Now I know I need to learn how to take care of myself financially to be successful so that I can make smart decisions about my relationships. A lot of people are in relationships and they won't leave them because they financially feel tied to that person. And that's an equal game that goes on between the two people. So you have to look at it and take full responsibility. Ask yourself where it's coming from. Go ahead and pick those new goals and that vision. Make sure you feel really good about it and you understand what it takes to get there. And be okay with that pathway. And don't allow those old beliefs and stories to creep in and shake your faith. Faith is knowing that you are unlimited and you can have those things in life. You can achieve your visions. And it may take more than you expected, and that's okay too. Getting there is so amazing. So I hope that you will subscribe, and if you click the bell, you'll see when my weekly success series comes out. We're going to talk a lot about this, how it applies to money, how it applies to specific things that you want to do in your career and even relationships. And also, if you are interested in the program that got me on the right track of learning things that were very uncomfortable, how to use the internet, and changing my life. This is a free video series, and there's a free webinar when you sign up. At the thank you page gives you a link to a free webinar called Opportunities in Crisis, because that's going to be our next week's video. How do you find opportunities in crisis? Because that's the other story you tell yourself. That out there is bad, so my life's going to be bad and my income and everything I'm doing, and that's just not the case. In fact, there's usually more opportunities in crisis than in the everyday life we've been living that is highly competitive. And now you have to be aware that these opportunities do exist for you. And once again, know what you desire. Go after it. Don't listen to the chatter in the head. There's a solution for every problem. So whatever situation you're in right now, find that solution. Get the help, research, and be relentless until you get there. All right, so you can sign up for this. Go see the webinar. You'll get a video series that talks about what the training is. If it's not for you, you unsubscribe. But no more criticism of anything. If something's for you, great. If it's not, move on, because everyone is allowed their own pathway. Respect that. Focus on yours, and the doors to the quantum field will open in such amazing ways. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Go down in the description if you want any information for my Instagram or any other things that you want to check out. And I'll see you next week in the Success Series. Namaste.